Hey there, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I'm going to show you how to plant a bare root tree today, specifically an apple tree. Now, a bare root tree is exactly what it sounds like. It's a tree that comes to you with no soil around its roots. And a bare root tree, when you get it, is usually a dormant tree. This happens to be a grafted apple tree. This is the rootstock. We have here an M111 rootstock, very good for hot climates, tropical climates, poor soil, bad soil, and we have clay here. So we're going to plant these, but the scion wood that is grafted on here, this is a cleft graft under all this tape here. This is the variety that will grow. Now the scion wood is how you determine what kind of apples you're going to have, and this one is a Reverend Morgan. This particular apple was developed here in Houston, actually. So I'm planting 6 varieties of subtropical heat-tolerant apples. And so out of the varieties of heat-tolerant apples that I was able to find, I got 6 of them. There is a place called Kuffel Creek Nursery, Apple Nursery, kuffelcreek.com. That's where we got these, and I think they're no longer selling them this season because you got to get them at the right time. But they will sell you these, and man, this is going to be an exciting time in the garden here. We're going to plant these apple trees and train them up over the next couple of years. We're going to keep them relatively small, but I'll show you how to plant a bare root tree. And this kind of bare root planting method will go for just about any kind of bare root fruit tree or any kind of bare root tree. So let's get some holes dug. That's some heavy clay right there. We've got some roots in here we're going to have to deal with. Yep. When digging a hole for a tree, you want to avoid a smooth edge to the wall of your hole. And so I like to come and just give a few chops here and there. And what this does is breaks up heavy clay, and it allows the roots, as they're going around looking for places to go, not to circle in the hole, but they'll have little edges and crevices that they will go into, and that will encourage them to start spreading out. Now, this soil right here is pretty heavy clay down at the bottom. But there are layers of sand and looser soil that run throughout my yard. So I'm confident that the drainage will be okay back here. I can see some sand right there. And that forms underground channels to take away standing water. But there is a lot of clay in here. But the M111 rootstock is supposed to be able to handle that clay. Every other tree I've put back here, Bradford pear trees, just stuck them in a hole like this. They did fine. In fact, those pear tree roots are causing me a lot of heartache right now. I can't put a tree where I want it because I can't get a saw big enough to cut through some of those 30-year-old roots. So we're having to change our plan up a little bit. Basically, you want to dig a big hole. You know, the bigger the better. In Uganda, where they're planting some of these Kuffel Creek apple trees, they're digging a 5 by 5 foot hole, 2 feet deep, to really break up their clay there. I don't have the energy to do that. I think this will be sufficient. That's never a good find, is it? Yeah, that's our old cable. It's not the current one. That is the kind of root that can grow in this clay. That comes off of my old Bradford pear tree. And we had these removed this winter. Stumps are grown, so there's a lot of roots down in here. All right, we're going to take our bare root, and according to the nursery, you want about 2 inches of the rootstock above the ground. And you want your scion wood obviously above the ground. You want to plant it deep down in there. So I've got this pole that I've put over my hole. This is an easy way to find your ground level, and so that's about right. That's about right where I want it, just so that the graft is above ground. So I do need to fill in a little bit, compact down there. Now this was clearly air layered rootstock, so it's got a nice stick down there, but you want to make the roots kind of fan out. And when we put our fill dirt in there, I'm going to use this loose stuff. I just kind of loosely fill in around these roots and then pack it in. I want those roots, I need to bring that up a little bit. I want those roots to be in good contact with all this soil. And they say, the manufacturer says here to kind of pack it in. Trying to keep it at the right level. I'm using all this loose dirt that I have, this loose soil, to do that. Pack that in. I don't want to pack super hard. We don't want to break the roots, but we do want to get it in there. All right, now I'll start filling in with the shovel. Now, you don't want to amend your hole, as with most trees that you plant. You don't amend the soil. These trees have to get established and they have to live here. They have to learn to grow in this particular soil, this clay. There's plenty of nutrition in here. So we're not amending the hole at all. We're not putting any kind of topsoil in here. We're using a native soil. And that's what the nursery suggests. What this does, it informs Phoebe that this is off limits, and she's pretty good at respecting those kinds of man-made boundaries like that. All right, let's get some water on these. So you can see it's draining pretty fast actually. It's soaking down into the bottom of that hole around those roots, and so we'll come back and fill it up one more time. And that will be all the water it needs until it starts to grow vigorously. So we're all planted up now. We've got 4 of our trees in. I'm going to put 2 more in over there, but I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to actually commit to that. So the other 2 bare roots, I'm going to pot them and grow them in pots for their first year. That's my thinking at least. My son is growing his in pots. Let's go take a look at his place. Hi. Hi. Did you come to see me?
Donald. One of the ones I'm most excited for is this one right here. It's a Arkansas black apple. Ooh. And it produces apples that are such a deep red that they're almost black.
Awesome. So how many varieties did you get? Are they all different?
They're all different. I have 14 varieties. And I have things ranging all the way from the most common of tropical apples, which would be the Anna and Golden Dorset combo.
Yeah. All
the way to some more out there varieties like this. This one's a Hawaii apple.
Yeah.
This Arkansas black, and then I have one more that's kind of out there. Which one is it? Let's see.
This one?
The Akane. Maybe that's it. So
that's cool, man. All different varieties.
And then this is supposed to be the star of the show, which is the Fuji.
Yeah. I got a Fuji too. That's
this
cool.
Is going to take the longest to bear fruit, but it's supposed to bear the highest quality apples.
Yeah. Huh.
At least the highest quality for our climate.
Right. And that's the key. We've purchased these bench grafts because they're specifically selected for hot climates and subtropics and tropical
low
places.
Chill hours.
Low chill hours.
Oh, she's mad.
As for spacing, you can see I've given about 10 feet between those two, about 6 feet, 8 feet between those two and that one as well. And it's pretty close to my lemon tree, which is hopefully going to recover from the freeze, but if it doesn't, all we have is replacements. And you might think those apple trees are too close. Well, we're practicing here what's called backyard orchard culture, in which we will keep our trees no larger than that lemon tree itself. That's about as big as we let our trees get back here. So these will be small trees. I'll be able to harvest, right here. Same thing with these other trees here, my plum tree and peach tree. People say those are too close together, but actually they're not. And once they come out of dormancy, like this guy's doing right here, they will grow, and we'll train them, we'll prune them to shape, like that one is a goblet shape. We'll grow that one up to be short. But these, the first year, the recommendation is that you let the scion wood bud and grow straight up, and you train it. You put a stick in there and you train it to as tall as you can get it that first year. Then you begin shaping the second year when branches come on. And with some of these varieties, you can even get fruit in the second year, but I'm not hopeful for that. I'm probably expecting fruit later on. But we're going to train them up. We're going to grow them straight. You call those a whip. And then you begin training them for shape. So first year of growth, we want vigorous, straight up growth, and we want them to get as tall as possible. So there we go. Got some apples planted, and man, I'm really happy about that. Okay, well, that was a bunch of work today, but we got it done. We got 4 trees planted, bare root trees. You can plant a bare root tree just like that, no matter what kind of bare root tree it is. Now, growing the tree after you've planted it can vary from type to type, but that's how you do it with a bare root tree. Thanks for joining us today on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Like our channel, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, and we'll talk to you next time. Happy gardening to you. Bye-bye.